A lot of you are being told something to make yourself feel better while you're freaking out about missing your person. And someone's telling you that manifestation is perfect and doesn't matter what you do, you can't fuck it up. Yes, you can. You're perfectly going to manifest what you are. If you're missing them, you're going to manifest separation. The end. That's perfect. Yes, it will work. What you are currently being, separate, missing, without them, longing, craving. Yeah, they'll stay away until you change that state. Oh, you can miss them all you like. No, you can't, because you're in the state of separation and missing them and not being with them. So how are you going to be with them if in your mind you're without them? If your mind is what manifests and what you're imagining is what manifests, how are you going to manifest being with them if you're imagining you're separate from them, huh? Someone has asked me to do a Loz lesson about how to persist when missing them physically. So if you're missing your specific person and you can't get over that feeling of separation from them, maybe you're in no contact, maybe you've split up, maybe you're seeing them but they never message you and they're not making you a priority, maybe you are together and they're just not giving you the time, attention and affection and you don't know what to do and you don't know how to stop these feelings of missing them, in this Loz lesson, I'll teach you what to do instead. So guys, a lot of you miss them. I understand that. The feeling of missing your specific person is totally natural and normal. However, you've got to understand that we're trying to manifest here. And you manifest from what you are, not what you want. So if you are a person who's separate from them, then you're going to manifest being separate from them, aren't you? Think about that. So think about the nature of missing someone. It means they're not there, right? So my mum died recently, just as an example. I could be in the state of missing her and be crying every day and grieving, or I could be in the state of she is with me always. Now, I am in the state of she is with me always, so I haven't had a lot of days since the initial grieving period when she passed away of me like bursting out crying and missing her, because I honestly believe in no separation and I feel her with me. So I haven't been in that grieving place because I do truly believe that she's with me always. Now, a lot of you find that very hard to do when you've been broken up with or when you're in no contact, because you physically can't see the person and you don't understand the notion of no separation. But you've got to understand that the only reason manifestation actually works is because of no separation, is because we are all connected and we are all one. Otherwise, it actually wouldn't work. So nothing from your imagination would ever be reflected out if we weren't all connected. Because how are they receiving the thoughts if we aren't all connected? Of course we are. That's how they receive the thoughts. That's why they come back. When you've worked on you, you've changed your concept of self, you've gone from a person who's not worthy of love to a person who feels they're worthy of love, and the next minute they're back and you're like, oh, it's because, the whole time you were separate from them, or part of the time, or most of the time, you got into the state of loved, you got into the state of worthy, you got into the state of, sometimes people get into the state of I can live without them, and then they come back. Now, some people think that's giving up, but it's in the state of I am fine no matter what happens, or I can be fine whether they're here or not here, right? But it's in the state of I am loved and perfect as I am. I haven't put them on a pedestal anymore. I'm not longing for them. If you're in the state of longing, that's sometimes what people call at the moment, I've seen some trending videos about limerence. That's completely different from manifesting a person. The nature of missing is I am separate from you. Therefore, I feel this feeling of missing. I feel this feeling of a longing, of craving, and sometimes limerence when you're longing for a person for a long time. That's not manifesting a specific person. But the reason why limerence happens and that people don't manifest them while they're in that state of whatever people want to call limerence, which is missing them, is because they're in the state of not having them. So that's why this thing called limerence occurs. Because they're in the state of longing and craving and missing them for so long, they're never going to manifest them back. And then people say, you're wasting your time, babe, he's moved on. Well, if that person had bothered to listen to me and uncovered all their self-concept issues that caused them to lose them in the first place and got into the new state of themselves who was with them and felt worthy of love, they'd be fucking back by now. Or they wouldn't be feeling that way and they'd be on their way back, right? You guys get the difference between missing them and being with them in your mind. Now, how do you be with them in your mind whilst they're not physically there? That's the question. Guys, can't you use your imagination? A lot of you aren't getting this, that what you imagine is as true to your mind as the physical 3D. That's why when you watch a really sad movie, you start to cry and get affected by what's going on, even though you know it's a movie star and you know their name, you know it's Julia Roberts, you know it's George Clooney, you know it's Gwyneth Paltrow, but you're still crying about this character you're watching in the story you're watching that you've got all caught up in. And you start crying even though you know it's Gwyneth Paltrow. Why the fuck are you crying about Gwyneth Paltrow? You know it's an actor, right? Doesn't matter if it's an unknown actor or a known actor. If they're portraying the story and you're caught up in the story of whatever's going on, you get all affected. If you get caught up in the story of whatever's going on with your SP, he's not here. I miss him. When's he coming back? Maybe he doesn't want me. Maybe there's someone else. Oh, there's distance. I can't even go and knock on his door and talk to him. We're not even in the same country, or whatever the feeling is, whatever the thoughts are. You're getting caught up in that story, just like you got caught up in the story of the movie with Gwyneth Paltrow in it that you cried all about, even though you knew the story wasn't even fucking real and you knew that was fucking Gwyneth Paltrow. That's how caught up you guys are getting in your own shitty, I miss them story. They're separate from me story. But you've got to understand, if you really understand manifesting, that the way you lost them in the first place was because you were never separate. It's because all the thoughts you had whilst in the relationship got sent to them telepathically, even if you didn't know you were thinking them. And that's the problem that so many of you have with my account. You think I'm saying you've done something wrong or it's your fault. And what I'm saying is, what were you thinking in secret that you didn't even know you were fucking thinking that caused this? Causation is what I'm teaching you, not blame. A lot of people don't get that. That's what Neville taught, right? So if you don't understand that you're the person who caused the relationship breakdown or caused them to block them, or caused them to find a third party, or caused them in long distance to break up or move to another country and now you can't speak or you can't see each other or you can't go knock on his door and now you're missing him, you've got to understand that you caused whatever caused that situation that you are now in that is making you feel like you're separate. So what do you have to do? You have to go back and think, what was I thinking that caused that? Right? First of all, to fix it. But secondly, if you're in the state of missing, you are in the state of separation and therefore you won't manifest them. So I've said on a couple of my videos, you can miss them, sure, but don't stay there. I don't mean you can miss them all day long. No, you can't, guys, because you can't miss them and manifest them at the same time. You can't be together and separate at the same fucking time. And so many of you think, because you've watched these fuckwits, and say, of course you can miss your specific person and manifest them. Can you, bitch? How can I be in the state of not with him and with him at the same time? Riddle me that. And they won't be able to explain it to me. They're just saying it because they want to please their followers. You guys have got to understand. I don't watch manifestation coach videos. The only manifestation coach videos I think I would ever watch if they popped up is maybe back in the day, if Arnie's videos from Create Your Future popped up, I might watch one of hers. I watch Sasha's. Sometimes I watch Lifestyle Manifesting on TikTok. That's it. But I hear from you guys what you're being told. I don't go and watch other people, just so you understand. And a lot of you are being told things like, you can miss them and still manifest them. Guys, that's two different states. That's the state of separation and then you're trying to manifest being with them. How are you going to do that? You manifest from what you are, who you are being. If you are being separate from them, how are you going to be together with them? It doesn't make any fucking sense when people say that to you. And they're saying it to you to make you feel better. A lot of you are watching people, and I only know this from the titles I see on TikTok, or the titles I see on YouTube, or the information you guys come to me with. A lot of people think I'm bitching about coaches or I watch other coaches. As if I've got time to watch other coaches. I barely have time to have a social life, okay? A lot of you are being told things to make yourself feel better, to self-soothe when you're spiraling. I'm telling you what you need to hear. A lot of you are being told something to make yourself feel better while you're freaking out about missing your person. And someone's telling you that manifestation's perfect and doesn't matter what you do, you can't fuck it up. Yes, you can. You're perfectly going to manifest what you are. If you're missing them, you're going to manifest separation. The end. That's perfect. Yes, it will work. What you are currently being, separate, missing, without them, longing, craving. Yeah, they'll stay away until you change that state. Oh, you can miss them all you like. No, you can't, because you're in the state of separation and missing them and not being with them. So how are you going to be with them if in your mind you're without them? If your mind is what manifests and what you're imagining is what manifests, how are you going to manifest being with them if you're imagining you're separate from them, huh? Riddle me that, please. Oh, I'm just saying that because I want people to feel better when they watch me. I don't really want to tell them the truth of this, and frankly, I don't really understand it. Okay, so people are just watching you to make themselves feel better. They're not actually going to manifest their person back, but they're going to feel better while they watch you. They're going to feel positive while they watch you. They're going to feel powerful while they watch you and think, I can do this. And then they stop watching the video and then they go back to missing them and they go back to the state that they were in that caused them to lose them in the first place, so they'll never get them back, will they? Oh yeah, I don't really have the heart to tell them that, but I don't really know how to teach this properly, so I just do all the rah-rah positivity stuff to get video views. Okay. How's that helping your followers? It doesn't, but I'm making money. Are you guys getting this? I don't mean to be rude, but if people aren't telling you the truth of this and they're telling you something like you can miss them, they're liars. You can't, guys. You can't be in two different states. As Neville states from the Bible, you can't be the servant of two masters. Do you understand the story of the servant of two masters? There's a wonderful actual play called, I think it's called The Servant of Two Masters. And one of my best friends was in it once, and it's hilarious. And it's this servant, like butler in Greek times, who had two bosses. And he was running back and forth between the two households, serving two masters. And at the end, of course, it's a comedy of errors because he keeps taking the wrong thing to the wrong person and then the right thing to a different guy. And then they realise he's working for two men at the same time, and then he gets fired. I think he gets fired in the end. But it's a funny play, and it's a guy, and it was him running from house to house and going in the wrong door and the right door and bringing the right thing and the wrong thing. It's a comedy of errors, it's called. If you guys want to be in a comedy of errors where you're doing all the wrong shit and manifesting the wrong shit like that guy is in that play, in that story, the story of the servant of two masters, then continue to miss your person, because you're being two things, a person who misses them and a person who's with them, and you can't be both. He couldn't be working for both men. There was a comedy of errors going back, forth in between, and what did he end up? Fired. If you want to end up without your specific person, continue to miss them. Now, the question is, how do you stop doing that? Well, you start realizing what you caused that caused the situation. You start fixing that. All the thoughts that you weren't good enough for him, or put him on a pedestal, or he's going to want other people, or this is too good to be true, or it's going to end, or my relationships always fail, or people always leave me, whatever you're thinking that caused them to leave, cause you to be in the state of missing them. And then you start to be with them in your fucking mind. Do you guys know how to do that? Do you guys even know how to use your imagination, some of you? But how do I do it, Loz? Literally, guys, lay in bed and imagine they're there. Literally wake up in the morning and imagine the next pillow that's empty right next to you is your person smiling at you, and they've been watching you sleep and waiting for you to wake up and kiss you and say, morning, babe. Can't you guys do that? Can't you, as you fall asleep, imagine their arms around you? Can't you do that? I've manifested 2 different SPs by imagining every night someone's arms around me. I didn't know who the fuck they were. And within a month with one person, and within days, I manifested another person. Purely by living in the state of being with them in my mind. But a lot of you are without them in your mind, and you're thinking you can manifest them. No, you won't. You'll be without. You'll be in the state of without and missing, and you won't be in the state of with them. Other ways you do it is every time you imagine missing them, you imagine them with you. Now, some of you do this where you imagine they miss me too, they miss me. You can do that. And I've got a video coming up on TikTok that will help you with that. But a lot of you, if you can't be in the state of with them, I guess you can be in the state of they miss me so much, they're longing for me, they can't stop thinking about me, they need to be with me. You could do that. If you find the living in the end with them, being with them now, too hard because your 3D is throwing you so badly, do the alternative, which is they miss me, they need to be with me. Any minute now, they'll be back if you really want to. But I'd prefer you do what Neville taught you, which is live in the end. When he was without his wife and he wanted to be with her back in America and he was in the army, he imagined every night that the bed near him was his wife's bed, because they had separate beds in those days, and she was there. And every night he fell asleep as if she was there. He didn't sit there going, she longs for me, she misses me. Well, then she'd probably stay missing him. He imagined every night that she was there, and then they were back together in the same place. Do what Neville did. Go and listen to that story about getting expelled from the army and how he did it. He imagined every night that he was in the same room, in the same bedroom as his wife. And eventually he was. And a lot of you aren't doing that. So take a lesson from Neville in terms of the way he did it when he was without his person, when he was missing his wife. He didn't stay in the state of missing by saying she was missing him or being in the state of longing for her. He just imagined her and him together in one place. That's what you guys need to do, okay? So I'm going to scroll up to your questions, guys. How to not ruin your manifestation once you have it? Well, guys, you've got to be in the state of having, okay? So if you're in the state of it's going to go wrong, all those things I just said, they might leave, it's too good to be true, blah, blah, that's how you lose it. Be aware of your thinking whilst you're in the new manifestation that you've manifested. How to get your husband to leave because you don't love him? Well, start imagining you're without him, darling. Start imagining he's happy with someone else. See him in a beautiful, happy relationship with someone else. Imagine he is with someone else right now and not with you. And imagine you happily coupled up with someone else and someone new. I want to persist, but I'm also really annoyed and don't want to think about him. Well, Josie, you're fucking it then. I don't know how to help you. So you want to be annoyed at him as if he caused the whole thing, even though you want to also do the other thing, which is actually manifesting them. So how are you going to manifest him if you're annoyed at him? What are you going to do? Get married and then spend the rest of your life annoyed at him, are you? You're not getting this. Go and watch more of my videos. You're very lost. How to believe in ourselves and what we are affirming. Guys, you won't believe what you're affirming at first because it's very foreign to you, so don't even try. Maybe a lesson on how to stop reacting to 3D. I have a million gazillion YouTubes about that, darling, because that was my biggest problem, and that's why I started my TikTok. Not only that, because no one was teaching me about changing my self-concept to stop reacting. I have many, many videos about that in my Why It's Not Manifesting playlist. Yes, perfectionism with manifestation. Yes, that's a good topic. I can do that another time. You should do one explaining how time isn't real. I also have a million videos about that, guys. I have a million videos about time. Guys, have you not gone to my YouTube and watched my videos? Like some of you are on here going, can you do a video about this? I've done 5 videos about that. Like, please go and subscribe on my YouTube. There are 2,000 videos or something on there. There's so much free content. Hang on, guys. You're all suggesting little lessons here. Loz, it's been a minute, but me and SP are off back together and we are looking for an apartment. Oh, Shay. That makes me so happy, darling. All right. How to be persistent when the 3D isn't reflecting manifestations yet? Well, it's the same story as this, guys. You've got to be in the state of the new you, in the new reality, not in the state of it's not here yet. If you think guys keep saying it's not here yet, it isn't reflecting, then guess what? It won't reflect. You're saying that. You're manifesting that. You're manifesting more of it not reflecting by even asking me the question. You understand? I know you're asking me a question, but like, hi, Lois, love you. Oh, Bobby, my daddy, how are you doing? Yes, the second last video is going off so good. Guys, if you haven't gone and watched my video called Overcoming Devastating Circumstances, How to Not Be Triggered in 3D, I really pity you because almost all the questions I'm going to scroll down and read in a minute are going to be about that. The fucking goddamn, it drives me crazy, it drives the mentors crazy circumstances. So many of you come into my Subconscious Loss Facebook group or the squad and ask questions about the circumstances. And you might say, circumstances, I know circumstances don't matter, but if you have ever written a fucking question like that, you need to go and watch that video immediately. And you really need to listen to it hard. Some people have watched it 2 to 5 times because some of you just aren't fundamentally getting what I teach you in that video. And it's not like any other video I've ever done. It's making you fully understand your triggers and what you're getting upset by and the circumstances you've caused and how to change them. Purely with your mind. If you haven't gone and watched it, I beg you to go watch it because you can't understand how frustrating it is for the mentors and the other members of the squad, especially who understand this, to answer the same fucking questions all the time and sometimes by the same goddamn people. Because you just aren't fundamentally getting what I teach in that video. So please go and watch it. Loz, I manifested almost everything since I know you. We should be all right, darling. Okay, everyone's voting for the Loz lesson. Where are we? Wait a minute. I miss him, but I still see him every weekend. Well, then you're not going to manifest him anytime soon, darling. Watch this lesson back. Wait, I just joined. What's the voting? Oh, we've already done it, darling. He is missing me all the time. Well, you can say that, darling. What time is it for you? Yeah, I saw that one. Hang on, guys. Girl, you are so pretty. Oh, Angie. Got my lash lift yesterday. I love it. Look at it. Look. They're my lashes. Can you believe? Although I think I slept on this side now it's curled up. What have I done there? I think I sleep on this side of my face. Can every event from the past be revised even if there's physical evidence that happened? Darling, are you seriously going to sit around revising every event from your past, are you? Are you fucking for real? Why don't you just become the new you and then everything is naturally revised? I really don't understand people who teach this shit. But go ahead, Morgan, and spend your whole life revising every single event that's ever happened to you. Go ahead. How are you going to do that? I had a dream about getting married. Is that birds for land? How the fuck do I know, darling? Is that what you're trying to manifest? Say it is. Guys, you decide what it means. I can't know. Oh, it definitely means this. I was in your brain last night. I saw the dream and I know it meant It means what you think it means. You're looking for signs. That's what you're fucking doing. Today, I took a tally about all my negative thoughts, and no wonder why I caused this. Well, thank you, Crystal, for being honest. Good on you, darling. Now you can fix it. What if they're married? What if they're married? It's about you choosing people who are unavailable. You've got to assess that and why you're fucking doing that, because that's about you. Trust me, I used to do that all the time. I could find a person with a girlfriend in a room, or a person who was still harping after their ex-wife or some fucking shit. And then imagine you and him together. But you've got to fix you first, darling. It's got to do with you. Hello, looking beautiful. Oh, thank you, darling. She left me because I was controlling. Will she ever come back? Well, not if you think she won't, darling, and not if you think you're controlling. Why did you need to control everything, Jay? Start fixing that. Like, why were you such a control freak? Were you jealous? Were you worried she was going to leave you for other people? That's all about your shit. Until you change, she won't be back and she won't stay. Because if you start doing all your controlling behaviours again, no, why would anyone stay with a person like that? That's about your massive insecurities that you haven't fixed. So start fixing them and then she'll be back and decide she forgives you for your behaviour and she understands why you did it. I sent my SP away because he was in active addiction. I want him to conform and stay sober. Jennifer, why are you blaming your specific person for your issues that you attract into your reality, people who can't choose you, and prioritise other things? Trust me, I've had roommates that are heroin addicts. I've had roommates that are alcoholics. I've had best friends that are alcoholics. I've had SPs that are alcoholics. It's not about the addicted person. It's about you, Jennifer. So instead of pushing him away and blaming it all on him and making him conform, have you fucking conformed? No, you haven't, Jennifer, because apparently it's all his fault, the reason why you keep choosing people who can't choose you and don't prioritise you. So what happened to you as a child where you don't feel good enough to have a full-blown relationship where a person puts all their attention on you, Jennifer? Stop blaming him for your fucking problems. Exclamation point, exclamation point. It's nothing to do with him. Why'd you choose him? Why'd you stay? I'm leaving him and he's got to change. Darling, he's reflecting you. Oh, fuck. He's reflecting all my stories that I'm not good enough to have a real relationship and no one prioritises me. Yeah, that's why you chose him in the fucking first place, Jennifer. Listen to me when I talk. You've been listening to morons who use the word conform. Go ahead, Jennifer. Try and make him conform and see how he comes back and goes straight back to the way he was, because he's only reflecting you because you didn't fucking bother to change because you didn't listen to me. Go ahead. How to acknowledge fear and change the energy instantly. What do you mean, change the energy? What are you talking about? I don't talk about energy. You're changing your thinking that's causing the fearful thought. I don't talk about energy. Think the opposite of the fear. That's how it will change. Arnie is one of the few I will watch. I love Arnie. I haven't watched any manifestation coaches videos for such a long time, probably over a year or maybe more. Oh no, I watched something that popped up the other day and I thought it was really good and I can't remember the name of the channel. It's a channel I hadn't watched before. Katie's great. Yeah, Katie's great. Is it okay if we delete them from socials because we don't like their behaviour while we manifest them? Go ahead, Naz, but you've got to understand that however their behaviour is triggering you is about you. It's not about them. It's about you. It's not about you. It's not about them. It's about you. It's not about them. It's about you. It's not about them. It's about you. I don't know how many times for the last 3 years I've said this. It's like I am talking to a whole lot of deaf people. And people wonder why I yell in my videos or seem annoyed. Guys, if you spent 3 years repeating your fucking self and saying the same thing over and over again, and then people, especially people who've watched me for a while, keep coming in and asking me stuff that implies that they're still blaming the other person, I ask you, wouldn't you be a little bit passionately annoyed or passionately yelling to try and get it through their thick skull that it's literally nothing to do with them, and if you're triggered by the socials, it's about you? But do that, darling, yes. Hi, Lodge, you look amazing. It must be my lash lift. Look at that. It's gone a bit funny there. Isn't that amazing? That's my actual lashes, where before they were like, must have been sticking out. What the hell? Now I know why Kim Kardashian looks like she's got like mascara on all the time when she's got no makeup. She's got a goddamn lash lift, that's why. I'm always fascinated by her lashes. Anyone watches Kardashians and look at her lashes and they're always like this? I'm shook. I was so shook by when she put the mirror in front of my face. I was like, what? Is that how long my lashes are? SP appears once a week and then disappeared the rest of the week. I just brought back and begging, so excited. Do, darling, that will really help and you'll be able to forgive him for doing that and forgive yourself. I like your nails. They're really pretty. Oh, thank you, darling. I'm very boring with it. I have the same colour every single month. How can I manifest aging backwards and more money? Well, I decide I age backwards, darling. So decide that everyone thinks you're younger than you are. I constantly have people saying that on lives or in real life. If I go and see people that are my age, I always think to myself, God, I look younger than you. That sounds arrogant, but I really do. I'm always noticing people's wrinkles or sun damage, because I say to myself, I look younger than I am. Say you're doing that, and say you have the money you want, darling. Whatever affirmations you're using for aging backwards, it's working. Thank you, darling. I also use my Korean skincare, and every time I use it, I say it helps. Okay? So I say it's working. So I say whatever I'm using works, right? Or any supplements I take work, even though I might take supplements once a week because I fucking forget because I don't eat breakfast. And I should take supplements in the morning with food, but because I don't eat in the morning, I never forget, and then I fall asleep and I never take them. You are speaking facts here because you can't be in two states of being at the same time. Exactly, Crystal. But apparently everyone can miss their SPs. I'm shook by these teachings. I wish you could just upload new beliefs, like they could fly a helicopter into the Matrix movie. Oh, guys, that's funny. You know, I know one of the people in the Matrix movie. You know the God guy with the grey hair? I don't know what his name is in the Matrix. He's an old friend of mine from Sydney. His name's Helmet. I don't know what the character's name is. The old man with the grey hair. I'm happy to see you, Loz. I swear I thought about you about an hour ago. Months you disappeared. I haven't disappeared. I'm here, darling. What self-concept needs work on if you talk shit to your SP and they were great in the relationship? You talk shit to them. Why are you doing that? Guys, if you're criticising them, telling them off, talking shit to them, what the fuck, are you okay? Don't open your fat mouth then. Have some self-control, darling. Figure out why you're criticising them or talking shit to them. Why are you doing that? Do you have anger issues you haven't worked on? Work on your reactions, darling. I'm now in the process of writing my old story, then I can change it to my new story. Good, Roxanne. What if your SP isn't attracted to you? He didn't say it, but he friend zoned me. So, darling, you feel not enough. You feel not attractive. It's you feeling that, and then they'll reflect that. You only have to think a few thoughts of like, maybe I'm looking a bit old at the moment or something, and someone will say it, and you're like, fuck. Right? It's your thoughts being reflected. Can't be double-minded. Exactly. Can't be a double-minded man, guys. That's what this whole lesson's about. I'd rather have the cold, hard truth than some sugar-coated lie. Look, guys, I don't teach you what you want to hear. I teach you what you need to hear. So that's why I've got so much success. I don't think some people understand. That's why I'm being the way I'm being on the videos. If you need to go away because it was too harsh what I was saying to you, it was too hard to hear, then you're not ready yet. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I'm the fucking teacher that will appear when you're ready to hear this. Some people aren't ready, so all power to you. Go and watch the toxic positivity bitches who are going to teach you. You can miss them. And then a year later, when your SP still isn't back, maybe you'll come to my videos and actually be able to hear what I'm saying. The missing always comes when I become aware of time and focus on how much time has passed. Well, then you're not being with them in your mind enough, darling. Go within in your mind and be with them right now in the now, and only worry about the now moment and be in the now moment. Not worry about, but only be present in the now moment. Don't worry about the future or the past. I had a dream where I was saying my self-concept affirmations. I don't know if it means anything. I just thought it was. Well, say it is, darling. Say it means that. It means good meaning. Focus on time is the gateway to missing for me. Guys, if you are focusing on the time, that's when you miss them. Absolutely. Lodge, you are glowing. Oh, Rita, thank you, darling. Just put on my Korean skincare, guys, but I do say I'm glowing as an affirmation, so God damn it. My glasses always catch my hair. What if your SP is saying he isn't feeling worthy of me? He said he was always feeling inadequate. Look, guys, if you've got a story that you're not good enough, you will literally manifest even the opposite of what you would think you would think, which would be them thinking they're better than you. They'll actually think they're less than you and not enough for you. It's just your mind finding any reason why you're not going to be with your person. If you've got a story that things never work out or you never get what you want, your mind will literally come up with a scenario where they can't even be with you because you've got too much money, or you're more accomplished than them, or they feel inadequate because of what's happened with them. It'll manifest. Trust me, it's happened to me. And it's because I've got a story that everything doesn't work out. And so then my mind will find a reason why it won't work out. Or I'll be the unchosen person anyway, regardless of whether it's about them not feeling enough or me not feeling enough. You see what I'm saying? So Delulu is the best Delulu in this case. Yes, guys. In this Kasusu. I don't know if we can say that. What's this? How do you live in the end if you want multiple SPs? I've done that before. I literally would lie in bed at night and imagine both of them. I know that sounds dirty. I'd say affirmations for both of them. I'd imagine scenarios for both of them because I couldn't decide. It is crazy to even have imaginary conversations and shit like that out loud. I do it a lot. Guys, I literally rampage and have inner conversations as I walk down the street, walking the dog. People must think I'm a nutcase. I don't know what my problem is. How do I know why I'm getting rejected? Darling, sit down for 20 minutes and write, oh, thank you, darling. Thank you, Bethany. Write all you're thinking and you'll see it. You'll see why. Law of assumption / news story that manifests or you withdrawing your energy from SP and they miss the chase. No, darling. If you feel like you have to withdraw your energy from your SP to make them miss the chase, you're not getting this. They're reflecting you. So that's your story. So how are you thinking you understand law of assumption, but you're saying to me bullshit dating coach teachings? Dating coach teachings is manipulating the 3D, coming from a belief you have to do those things to make them do something. You're not making them do anything, darling. They're reflecting you. So if you have one of these bullshit dumb stories that they need to chase you, well, then you'll have to do manipulative 3D shit for the rest of your goddamn life for them to chase you. And as soon as you stop, guess what they'll do? Give up on you because you've got that stupid fucking story. So yeah, the first part of your sentence is right. The last part's dating coach bullshit. If you want to believe that, you'll have to do shit to make him chase you for the rest of your life till you're 85. What do you mean? What country do you live in, Loz? I'm curious because of the time you do the lives. I'm in Perth, Western Australia. I was born here, then I moved to Sydney, then I moved to London, now I'm back here. It's the most isolated capital city in the entire world, guys, and we're on a weird time zone compared to everyone else. Hi, Pamela, darling, how are you? Can you call them out on bad behaviour while in the process of manifesting or just ignore? Christina, have you ever watched me in your whole life? So you're calling them out on something you caused. What do you mean you meant to manifest it? What do you mean, Sudie? Sudie, you're confused. Are you watching Law of Attraction bitches or dating coaches that say, if you wanted to, he would, or it's not meant to be? You're fucking confused. You decide if it's meant to be. What do you mean? Guys, look, some of you are coming in here with questions that make me think that you're watching dating coaches as well as watching me. You're watching Law of Attraction people at the same time watching me. You either understand this, that you are causing it all and they are your mirror, or you don't. If you don't get it, please stop watching those fuckwits who are confusing the hell out of most of you. Because you're coming in here with questions that make it sound like you've never even watched me in your whole life. Some of you need to go on a Loz binge and you need to go back to the back of this playlist, the Why It's Not Manifesting playlist on my YouTube, and watch every single recent video from the last year or last 9 months that I've done on all these topics. Then go and find the self-concept issue you've now discovered about yourself and watch all the Ask Loz videos that pertain to that self-concept issue, Ask Loz playlist. Then go back and watch the Self-Concept is What Manifests playlist. And if you're really fucking lost and you've never heard anything I'm saying before, watch the How to Manifest playlist even first, because some of you are fucking lost in here. And I know there's 245 people, but 245 people can't not have watched me. So if you're still watching, like, guys, if you've been with me a long time, because this really aggravates me, and then people wonder why I yell on my lives. The reason why I say you either get this or you don't is because you either get this or you don't. You've either bought the pearl or you haven't. So at the moment in the squad is Neville Made Easy, and it's leaving in a week and a half's time at the end of April. If you haven't bought the pearl of great price, as Neville said, and understood that you are the only cause, you're going to fuck this up. Come and join us in the squad and do the course, because you get it as part of your membership. It's going to go on my website soon for hundreds of dollars. Come and do it if you're this fucking lost. For $50 or $35 if you join for the year. And you'll get the whole Neville course, and finally you'll have the realization you've been doing this wrong the whole time, and that's why you're asking me questions that make you sound like you're lost. Some of you need to go back to the basics of law of assumption and understand that you are the only cause of your reality, and you haven't understood that yet. Right? Or you're going to have to wait till it goes on my website, and it will be much more expensive. Lodge, you look so pretty. Oh, thank you, darling. I finally grasped this concept, been doing it for the past few days, and honestly love the feeling. Oh, good, darling. How to remove doubts. Guys, doubt is the devil. You've got to have more positive thoughts and more encouraging thoughts than negative. Oh, thank you, Bobby Vanity. I love the hat. I love the arches in your home. Oh, guys, it's very 70s in here. I don't know. I'm not a fan. I like the arches, but I'm not a fan of that brown brick in there in that kitchen, because we used to live in a house that colour in the 80s, and we hated that house. And oh, it reminds me of that house I lived in as a kid. Don't mind the arches, though. What are your views on self-concept? Is it needed before living in the end? See, these kind of questions make me want to go out into the kitchen, stab myself. Mac, that's all I teach. Everyone's reflecting you. Your concept of self is what's manifesting your reality. What do you mean? Your I am, who you am, is what manifests. Please go and watch all my videos. You sound like you've never watched me in your whole life. And I'm glad you've asked me, because it made me realize, wow, there's people who are being taught this wrong or have never watched me. So please, I beg you to go and get my self-concept course if you can. If you can't, just go and get my free course on my website called Everything You've Learned About Manifesting is Wrong, because it sounds like, Mac, you're thinking of self-concept like it's self-esteem or something. Before living in the end, your self-concept is living in the end. You're living in the end of whatever you think of yourself. That is living in the end. Whatever you are imagining right now is living in the end. You're living in the end of missing them, living in the end of no money, living in the end of being alone, living in the end of, what do you mean? You're a bit confused. I say that with love. Go and get my free course and then get back to me when you've done it. Can every event from the past... Guys, why are you repeating the questions, for fuck's sake? I do a Loz lesson at the beginning. He's going on dates with other girls. What subconscious thoughts is he reflecting back to me that he doesn't want you, that he wants others, that you're not wanted, that you're not lovable? Something. Fix it. Loz, I lost my manifestation and my self-concept has been not great, have been feeling insecure, but I am affirming. Look, darling, if you've lost it, you've got to understand that's why I started my account, because I kept losing my manifestation and I couldn't figure out what the fuck I was doing wrong. And then I realized it was all me. It was all coming from me. So work on that self-concept more, darling, please. What I find hard is to stay in the state when friends keep saying SP and I shouldn't get back together. So why the fuck are you even talking to your dumb friends? I don't believe some of you bitches that say to me, oh, people just keep bringing it up. You're reflecting that thought out that they're bringing it up, first of all. So you have a story that people keep talking about it. You've got a story that people want to ask you about it. You've got a story when you go there that you actually secretly want to talk about it, some of you. I can go places with old friends of mine and I can say in my head before I leave, no one's going to ask me about my relationship. No one's going to ask me about anything. And I don't have to reveal any private stuff about myself today. And no one will. And they'll all fucking talk about themselves for 5 hours. You're not doing that. And you've got an assumption that they're going to keep asking you. So they're going to keep fucking asking you. And most of you, I don't believe for a second don't want to talk about it. I think you secretly want to sit there and ruminate and mull over the past. Affirming the opposite to improve self-concept. Do you have any suggestions? Guys, when you're affirming, you are saying the opposite of what your self-concept issues are. My suggestion is, do you know what your self-concept issues are? Most of you are doing that robotic affirming bullshit and stuff with affirmations that won't even change anything for you because they're general and bullshit and you got them off of Pinterest or some YouTube video and they're not akin to your self-concept actual core issue. Do you know what your core issue is, darling, if you don't do my self-concept course assessment? What if I manifested my SP, but he's not acting right? He has a girlfriend. Darling, you've got some stories that he doesn't want you. He wants others. You're not good enough. Some fucking story that manifested that. You manifested that. Change the thoughts that caused that, darling. Go and watch all my videos on third parties. I literally have one on my YouTube from about 2 videos back. Go and watch it. Honestly, it's been very difficult forgiving myself for the circumstances I'm in. Any advice? Well, you're going to have to, guys. Otherwise, you're going to fuck this. Forgive them, Lord. They don't know what they do. And forgive yourself. Stop beating yourself up. If you're a person who beats themselves up a lot, go and do my I don't need to fix anything sleep tape on my YouTube. Listen to it every night, darling. Sounds like you need it. It sounds like you beat yourself up easily. I met an incredible SP, but I keep doubting myself and thinking I'm not good enough. Now he broke up with me. Well, that's why he broke up with you, darling, because you felt not good enough the entire time and you're waiting for the other shoe to drop and then it was too good to be true and then it fucking was. So now you've done that. Now you need to go back in your mind and change all those thoughts that caused that and imagine him back with you. My dad was so strict, abusive, a cheater, and I get rejected by all men, even when I'm good looking. What the fuck has good looking got to do with it? You're very confused. Darling, men are just going to manifest what you believe about yourself. What do you believe about yourself? All those things, so they're going to stay rejecting you until you change. Good evening from the States, Losnall. Oh, Georgie! What if they're married? Guys, it doesn't matter. Circumstances don't matter, but you think it really matters, so you won't be able to manifest them until you stop thinking it matters. I have conversations out loud and even pretend we go on dates and shit, lol. I'm that Delulu. Do it, Crystal. That's wonderful. How do you act around my SP when I'm manifesting him? Guys, I don't need to know. You just don't act any different. And you certainly don't react to them. The biggest thing is not reacting. I've been manifesting my SP, but today an ex of 17 years messaged me wanting me back. How come? Because it's working, darling. It means your self-concept's working. I have exes coming out from all over the place. I had a guy ring me last year on my birthday from England. I hadn't spoken to the man in like 12 years. And I was like, why are you ringing me? I haven't been in England for 5 years. How to stop being pissed at 3D. He did what I expected. My fault. I know. How have you been here this long, darling, and watched so many of my videos and you still don't get how to stop being pissed? What do you mean? You caused it. You burnt your own house down with a match. Oh, I'm so annoyed at the people who did that. I'm annoyed at you, invisible strangers. You're holding the fucking match, darling. Why don't you start forgiving yourself? That video was so helpful, Loz. Oh, thank you, darling. All right, guys, I'm going to go soon. I needed that. Can't wait to watch it. Yes, guys. So please go back and watch the video called Overcoming Devastating Circumstances on my YouTube. It's got a grey thumbnail with the dog in the meme holding the cup saying, this is fine. I need all of you to watch that. If you keep fucking asking me about the goddamn circumstances or about being upset or about missing them or about being triggered. Because that lesson is the fundamental lesson to understand why you're being triggered and how to fix it. Okay? Then go back and watch this on YouTube, what to do when you miss them because you're not understanding you're being a double-minded man. Subscribe to me there, follow me here, and I'll see you soon, guys. Bye.